welcome back to the channel. The main event here, we're gonna be going over two more mons. I'm probably gonna go back to doing like the one for the videos, unless you guys like the twos. Let me know in the comments. But I figured since this is the last future paradox mon I have to do, and then it has like a past paradox counterpart, it'd be kind of cool to bridge from the future one to the past one by doing the both of these at the same time. This actually was like the most difficult one I had to do out of all of them, I think, so far, because I wanted to get really creative. But like sometimes the mon's like abilities, stats, and moves don't always allow for that. They give it some really good stuff that you kind of have to use or you're throwing. It gives you a lot of other stuff that you can use, but stuff that doesn't really fit its typing or its like best assets. But I'll try to make it as fun as I can. That does have some good stuff, both of them. They are very similar though, so I'll try to make them as different as possible. But we're gonna try our best. We're gonna go to Iron Treads first. And as normal, we're going to compare it to Donphan because these are both future and past forms of Donphan. So as you can see, let me make sure. Okay, good. You have 90 HP to 90 HP. You have a little bit less attack to Donphan's 120, which is a bit of a downgrade. Defense is the same. Special attack is higher, which is kind of useless. Special defense is higher, which is nice, but still not great. And it's much, much, much faster, which is really good. So the first set is going to be something that's really consistent, really solid, very straightforward, very simple that I think anyone can use. It's going to be a set of Terra Blast Ground, Iron Head, and Wild Charge. I like the Terra type ground for this just because you can evade some of those steel type weaknesses, such as like fighting and fire, and then hit back for like big ground moves on fire types. You could hit them anyway, so you could potentially switch this around and use one of its ground type moves. But I think because Iron Head is its best steel type move, in my opinion, probably that or Heavy Slam. No, probably Iron Head. Terra Blast Ground would be its best ground type move. It has Earthquake and Stomping Tantrum, but Terra Blast has the 80 versus those which would be 75 each. Obviously, Earthquake is 100, but if you account for the spread damage to two opponents, it's 75. So this would give it its best ground stab. So I think this is the best option for it. Plus, Wild Charge gives you coverage into water types. And I'm going to go into the spread a little bit here too. So this speed stat also is Clear Amulet. And I'll explain all of this together right now. So the speed spread is 228 Jolly. Because you have 170. 170, so stay with me here, lets you outspeed everything that's Garchomp and slower. The reason I chose that is because Garchomp will hit you for really, really big damage if you decide to not Terra into ground. Additionally, you could Terra into ground to avoid that damage from Garchomp, and then hit it back with something like Iron Head or whatever. But you outspeed that. You outspeed Gyarados, which you can also Wild Charge, and you outspeed Arcanine by a lot, by the way, which you can also hit with Terra Blast Ground. And then the Clear Amulet is what stops Arcanine and Gyarados from intimidating you. So you can hit both of those and probably Oko them, honestly, with your big attack stat here. Obviously, this set makes it hard to use Booster Energy because the Booster Energy, if you put it, because it's so fast and you want to go faster than stuff, if you use a positive speed nature, it's going to make you boost your speed, which it doesn't always need. It kind of wants it in other stats. So this way, use Clear Amulet so you can't get intimidated. You can switch to a Life Orb 2 if you want. I had that here originally, but I kind of fell back and decided to use Clear Amulet. So yeah, with this much speed, you can outspeed those three things, which are the most important things in my opinion for it to outspeed. Garchomp, Arcanine, Gyarados, and then obviously it outspeeds all the 100s and stuff that's slower. So yeah, this is something I think is gonna be consistent, really easy. The next set, a little bit different. This is gonna be like an Assault Vest set. The EV spread is gonna be a little bit different. Instead of it going into your attack stat, it's gonna be like a bulky, fast kind of mon. You don't need the speed if you don't want. You can put it all in your special defense if you prefer. But with this, you have the Assault Vest, and then 28, the remaining 28 speed EVs going into the special defense. Your defense is still really good. Your HP will be really high with this 252. So you'll be an overall bulky mon. Because you will be more susceptible to stuff like Intimidate, and you won't be able to protect and things of that nature. I do have Body Press and Heavy Slam on here. Heavy Slam will end up being like probably a better steel stab with no attack investment since it's weight based. Bulldoze is good because you'll still outspeed Arcanine with this set. You can slow it down with Bulldoze, You can also slow down both of the opponents with this set if your partner is like a slower mon and you want to slow down like an opposing Arcanine or just any opposing mon that's slower than you are, which is like I said, Garchomp, everything from Garchomp and below. You can bulldoze them, and then maybe potentially depending on what mon you have next to you, that is either immune to bulldoze or immune to stat drops. You can use it to pick up the pieces basically. Ice Spinner also hits opposing ground types, hits dragon types, which are going to be very prevalent. So I think it's a good option as a fourth move here. So yeah, I think that's a pretty simple set. You could potentially Terra Steel or Ground here. You could even Terra Fighting if you want more body pressure damage, which I don't think is a bad idea. But probably Terra Steel is gonna be your best bet here to just get those big heavy slams off. Since you're like I say, you don't have any attack investment, so big weight based damage on heavy steel, heavy slam with the steel Terra is probably gonna be your best bet. So I'm actually gonna change it on screen just so no one gets confused. So yeah, Terra Steel. The next set is a choice band set. So this one is more so made to cover all your weaknesses, almost all your weaknesses. So Iron Head is going to be probably your stab of choice. You have the steel one. You are going to be is Zen, what did I put Zen? Oh yeah, because you're steel type and you're going to be weak to the fighting types like Hariyama and what's it called, Iron Hands, and any other fighting type in the format. So you can hit them with Zen Headbutt. You are also weak to fire, so you can use Earthquake against those, or Stomach Tantrum. It is up to you. Wild Charge will hit those water types like Gyarados and other water types as well. Ice Spinner would be nice on here because you could hit grass types as well, but I didn't want to abandon the steel type stab because hitting fairies is important. Just hitting for a big stab type damage like that is just important to me. So this is going to be the same spread as this one because, like I said, the same 170 beats that, outspeeds Garchomp at 169. This is probably like the most. This is this terrible set that's coming up. I'm pretty sure if I remember right, it's a terrible set. Just something I threw at the end, like I try to do at the end of these sets for you guys doing plenty. Yeah, this one's ass. Part of my language. This one sucks. So if you use the booster energy, right? And actually, does it have to be 0 attack for this to work? I need to check that. Let me put it at 31 and see. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you don't have to reset for a 0 attack IV if you don't want to. So if you can put your special attack at 252, modest, you can put 68 speed EVs and get it to 135 speed, and then you get to 136 special attack. So you can boost your special attack by one stage. So what's it's 1.3. Should have did that math. I had that math in my head, but I forgot what I put it at. So let's do that for you guys right now in real time. Candid camera, because it's a 0.3 boost. So is it 72 times 1.3? So it's like a 93.6 a special attack stat. You know, it's not terrible. It could be a lot better, but it's not bad if you get the booster energy boost. Rest of it goes to HP because you're probably gonna need multiple hits to hit start stuff, so you need to survive some. Oh, also you had to I'm pretty sure I did this on purpose. Let me check. Yeah, you have to minus your defense stat in order to even at 31 you got to use the negative so it's not modest. What's the nature? Mild. You got to use a negative defense nature because if not, if you just leave it regular, it's 140 and it's too high and it's going to raise it. So that's why this set sucks, right? So you got to use that. You'll get this. Earth Power is actually it has great moves, right? Which is interesting. Flash Cannon and Earth Power. And then you have Steel Beam, which does so much damage. Like if this thing actually had decent special attack, you could use this and actually like be viable with it, which is like odd. But yeah, so that's the Iron Treads portion. That's the last Future Paradox. So now we take a trip down into the past. So let's get out of here. All right, Great Tusk. So same scenario, we like to compare it. So we got much more HP, 115 to that, much more attack, which is actually really nice, and much more defense. So they really kind of just took like the original Donphan and just beefed it up. The special attack is worse, which you don't care about. Special defense is a little bit worse, which is not nice. Speed is better, which you could say is fine. But even if it had been slower, it could have been nice. First set, very good, very standard set. Because it does have that speed, Wait a minute. My speed? Oh no. So this one I actually did use booster energy on the first set, and I'll show you why right now. Because it has such a high special attack as opposed to the iron treads. The booster energy actually works in your attack stat. On the other mon, your booster energy is not gonna work unless you're willing to compromise so much on speed, which I wasn't. You might be willing to, but I wasn't for that mon. So with this, you get the extra boost on the attack stat, and you're not losing any of your max speed EVs. The I will say the one thing, however, let me just check something before I continue the video. I do want to go and see what the max speed does. So here's the actual thing. This is probably what I originally meant to do, because you actually do need, you still get the booster energy on your attack, which is key, but you do need to go max speed on this. And the reason why is because you speed tie with Caliber, which basically you guys counter each other. With it having ice type, which is super effective to your ground, but your fighting hits that really, really strong. So you kind of don't want to be always losing that speed tie. And you are probably going to speed tie if they're running max speed as well. So you can't really compromise on the speed there. How I think is a good way to actually not worry too much about the speed tie, though, is if you Terra fighting. It's hard to not Terra ground here because Headlong Rush is really good. It's 120 base power. It doesn't miss. Lowest, well, 100% accuracy is different than not. It has 100% accuracy. I won't say it doesn't miss because 100% moves technically can miss with weird math stuff. But anyway, lowers the user's defense, special defense by 1. If it lowers your defense, that's fine. Special defense is already Bupkis, so who cares? It's a great move, and I would like to Terra ground with this. But if you want a close combat with the attack boost, and close combat's awesome too, right? Like close combat is a 120 base power move, just like Headlong Rush. Do you think it's 100% accurate base power attack moves off of a 131 attack? That is insane. That is absolutely nuts. But you could Terra fighting into this and then use that big attack stat and that big close combat damage to just blow up Black's Caliber and other ones if you want, other steel types, dark types, etc. Iron Head here, just because I just think steel coverage is good for opposing Furies, especially since they're mostly special attackers. You could put other stuff on here if you wanted, but I just kind of like Ironhead the most. I'll do a quick look through again for you guys in case you see something that you might like here. I like to pick the physical. But it's move pool. If you look, it's very ground normal fighting centric. You do have Fire Fang, but what are you hitting with that? Grass types. At that point, you probably would just use Ice Spinner anyway. You could use knockoff to hit opposing psychic types. I don't think it gets crunch or anything. So yeah, if you wanted to run knockoff, that's fine too. But that's going to be something that's this set overall very standard, but also very powerful. So this is the Assault Vest set. This is going to be similar to the Iron Treads one with Body Press Heavy Slam. The difference is here is that you actually get stab on the Body Press. Because this thing is special defense is so bad, you're going to max that thing out and give it the Assault Vest so that you're not dying to special hits right away. You get the Body Press, which is not predicated on you having a big attack stat. It's on your defense, which also cannot be intimidated, which is good. Heavy Slam is not based on your attack as well, it's based on your weight. Headlong Rush is based on your attack, however, it's so strong, it's not that big of a deal. So it's okay to have the one. Knockoff is another good move again because you do need a fourth attack. And I do think it is a good way to hit those psychic types that are going to be trying to take you out, which you should be able to survive with the special defense investment and the Assault Vest. And because you do have the Protosynthesis, you are going to get a defense boost. So you are going to be very, very bulky. If you have the Sun Up, of course, not just because you're on the field, because you don't have the booster energy. So if you have the Sun Up, you'll get a defense boost, which is nice. So yeah, we don't have to spend too much time on that set. The Terra type, you could change it to ground or fighting, but I do think it might be worthwhile to change into something that isn't weak to all those types. Like you could go steel. Steel is a good defensive typing overall. And you do have ways to hit like opposing fire types. Opposing fighting types could be problematic, but it's not the end of the world. So this one is going to be like the sweeping set, right? This one is where you go and you use the booster energy on your speed. Now you can't put any attack investment if you want to get the booster energy boost on speed. But like at max speed with this speed spat and the booster energy, you are outspeeding everything in the game that's not boosted. So Dragapult, Fluttermane that's not speed boosted, uh, Iron Bundle that's not speed boosted, Iron Valiant that's not speed boosted. Everything that's not speed boosted, you will outspeed with the booster energy speed boost. So with that being said, you can run protect and bulk up. Protect to protect yourself, obviously. Bulk up, because bulk up, what that does is gives you a +1 in your attack and defense. So because you don't have the attack stat invested, you use the bulk up, get a +1 in attack and defense. It gives you really strong headlong rushes. Pause. Even without the attack investment. And then even if you get intimidated, you have a +1 in your defense, so you can use this body press as your fighting stab. You very well could go close combat though. It's really up to you if you think you can get the +1 off and just like blow things up with both of these moves here. But I think just having the convenience of body press at a +1 with the bulk up, especially if you're facing against physical attackers, because if you're going to be faster than them with this booster energy boost and you have all this HP and then you get a fast bulk up off and you're taking hits for them, and then you can just potentially body press if they try to switch in an intimidator. I kind of like it personally. So this is what I would probably go with for if you want a really fast great Tusk set. So this thing doesn't have a bunch of like great special moves that I can like make a meme set out of. I don't even know if it had any special moves that when I was looking. Nothing worth it. So I figured as the bad set, you could potentially go with like a negative speed, a 0 speed if you could find one. It's really difficult to find these things 0 speed. Trick Room kind of set. 87 is not a great speed for Trick Room. However, because this format is really fast, right? There's a lot of Tailwind. Even mons like Scary Tail are 111 base speed, and they try to set up Trick Room, right? So if it can do it, so can you. But like Roaring Moon is faster, Chien Pao is faster, Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Iron Valiant faster, Garchomp faster, Arcanine faster, Dondozo boosted is faster. So because everything is so much faster than you can actually get away with this. You actually could get away with this. And because you have maximum attack investment and you're like, was it Brave? Yeah, Brave Nature. This is where I definitely say Close Combat, Headlong Rush, Iron Head. Your 3 best offensive moves, in my opinion. Just go for it, right? You get under Trick Room and you start trying to hit stuff as hard as you can under that, and as fast as you can, because you're going first under Trick Room, depending on the opposing team. And actually, realistically, you could just go negative special attack and you could just go like a regular perfect IV here. So in this case, right, you still have your base 87 speed. So stuff that is normally slower than you outside of Trick Room, you can still outspeed and hit them for really big damage. And the booster energy here will give you a boost in your attack stat as well. So yeah, that's why Headlong Rush and Close Combat and Iron Head are the best choices. So I think that's all we got for these two. Let me know what you guys think of these sets in the yeah. Let me know what you guys think of these sets in the mons down below. Which one do you prefer? Great Tusk or Iron Treads? At first I was liking Iron Treads, but looking at Great Tusk right now, I kind of like his design a little bit better. I actually want to make a team with this thing because I actually just like what it can do and I like how it looks. It's really cool. So yeah, let me know which one you guys prefer down in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Salute to you if you're not new and you've been sticking around. And I see you guys in the next one. Peace.